Hey guys, Snowta here, and in this video we're going to look at the top 10 champions for hard carrying ranked in League of Legends. However, in this video we are not looking at carry potential alone. We're also going to be factoring in how easy or simple a champion is to play. The reality is that you don't need to play the most advanced champion in the game to carry. In fact, just playing a few easy champions that have decent carry potential will be better than playing a high skill champion suboptimally. So, as we go throughout our list, we're going to be giving each champion 2 scores out of 10. The first score will be the champion's carry potential, and the second score will be how easy the champion is to play and execute. Also, right before we get into it, YouTube tells me that only 4% of the people that watch my videos are subscribed, so if you do enjoy the content, please consider subscribing. I'm trying to reach 50k subs by the end of the summer and would love your help. All right, let's get into it. Coming in at number 10, we have Darius. Darius is clearly one of the best laning champions in this game. If he gets on top of a ranged champion or a squishy melee champ, it's over. His damage is too high with how tanky he is. The only real weakness that Darius has is his inability to handle kiting. He doesn't have any gap closers, which is why most players will run Ghost and build Trinity Force because it gives him more mobility and sort of patches these weak spots. However, in mid and late game team fights, Darius can easily be blown up if he front lines and gets CC'd, so definitely watch out for that. Overall, I give Darius a 5 out of 10 for his carry ability. He would be a 6 if he didn't have the kiting problems, but he is great at stomping his lane and blowing the game wide open from that. For his easy to play score, I'll give him a 6 out of 10. All of his abilities are pretty easy to use. The only thing that you need to focus on is hitting the outer part of his Q in order to get the heal and the max damage, and also focus on applying stacks in fights to get the most damage out of your ultimate and other abilities. So overall, we'll give him a composite score of 11. Coming in at number 9 is Jhin. I'm sure that this might come as a surprise to some of you, but Jhin has great carry potential and is relatively easy to play. With other ADCs, you have to have really great spacing and positioning in order to give your team good value, but with Jhin, you have easy to use abilities and only 4 shots per clip, so you can hop in and out of team fights with your autos with relative ease. And although Jhin doesn't have any gap closers, he does get a movement speed every time he crits, and that increases based on his attack speed. So if you end up building Gale Force, you have way more mobility than the other team expects. Also, even though he's an ADC, Jhin does a really good job of setting up his teammates. His W will root a recently damaged champion, which makes chaining CC in ganks or team fights really easy. So Jhin can set up from far away and help his team get some easy picks or contribute to a team fight. For Jin's easy score, we'll give him a 6 out of 10. He is an ADC, so there are some mechanical challenges that come along with that role, but his kit definitely helps players be effective without having to have Uzi level mechanics. For his carry potential, we'll give him a 6 out of 10. Jhin is a squishy champ, so if there are any fed assassins or bruisers on the other team, it will be tough to have an insane impact on the game. Overall, we'll give Jhin a combined score of 12. At number 8, we have Fizz. Fizz is such an annoying champion to play against, and that is for good reason. He has crazy high burst damage and is probably one of the best champions in the game at getting in and out of fights. His E allows him to dodge literally everything, and once you build Zhonya's and maybe another stopwatch, you'll never be able to die because the cooldown on your E is only a couple of seconds. Fizz is also great at setting up picks and engaging for his team with his ultimate. He's able to launch his fish, which slows an enemy champion and does a ton of damage. You also build a lot of ability haste on Fizz, so his ultimate and other abilities seem like they're always off cooldown. Fizz can be difficult to play in lane, and I have seen a lot of low elo players get like 20 CS with him at 10 minutes, so you do need to watch out for that, and you do need to manage his early game mana well in order to have success. Other than that, the 2 other combos you need to learn is the E flash and the Q ult. Other than that, just learn your lane matchups, know when you can roam, and enjoy tilting your opponents off the face of the planet. We'll give him an easy to play score of 6 and a carry score of 7, which gives him a total score of 13. At number 7, we have Malphite. And I know y'all probably think I'm joking, but I'm not. When I am trying hard to climb, this is one of my go-to champs in the top lane because he has a lot of intangibles for his team. First off, he's a tank, and no one likes playing tanks because generally they have a boring playstyle, but I don't care, I want that free low. Most team comps could greatly benefit from having a tank, so you allow your team not to have to worry about that in draft because you already are taking care of it. And he's also a great source of engage, which is also another problem in champ select. Oftentimes in low elo, you just need someone from your team to engage so you can start fighting together. If your team is the one getting engaged on, it will likely lead to lackluster coordination and you're probably not going to win that fight. Also, Malphite's abilities are like crazy easy to use. His Q is a point and click slow, his W empowers his autos, and you just press E whenever you're on top of an enemy champion. The only difficult part about Malphite's kit is his ultimate. There are plenty of clips showing people blatantly missing with Malphite's ult, but if you can hit his ultimate, then you are golden. Pretty much the only part of the game where he struggles is at matching split pushers later in the game, but he usually crushes them early on, so if you don't feed against a bruiser, then you'll probably be okay. We're going to give Malphite a 9 for his easy score and then a 4 for the carry potential. Unfortunately, if you play a champion like Malphite, it's going to be hard to 1v5 on your own, but you do offer your team a lot of intangibles, which does help your team win. So overall, we'll give him a composite score of 13. Okay, right out of the top 5, we have Master Yi. Master Yi is known as the brain dead, keyboard smashing, dashing, running it down carry champion. And yes, you will be made fun of if you use Master Yi to climb, and that's because his carry potential is so high with how seemingly easy he is to play. The only mechanical skills you need in order to play Yi are understanding his Q and using it to dodge CC and damage, and also using his W to either auto cancel or mitigate damage from a tower shot or other large ability. Other than that, it's pretty much all macro that you need to focus on, which is the whole point of this list. You don't need to play Zed, Azir, or Vayne to climb. You can play simple champions that are great at carrying and winning games without having the mechanics of Faker. Master Yi gets a 7 for his carry score. It is hard for him to get going in games, and he needs to get a couple of successful ganks off or needs to farm very efficiently to get a lead. We'll also give him a 7 with how easy he is to play. He is a squishy champion and is very vulnerable to hard CC, but if you can get ahead and you aren't facing a horrendous team composition, then you'll probably be okay. The overall score that we'll give him is 14. Hey guys, before we continue with the top 5, I wanted to talk about my League of Legends course, The Ticket to Diamond Blueprint, really quick. We are currently developing the 2.0 version and are in the process of adding more content. We're almost up to 10 hours of educational material, and if you're curious about joining, you'll see all the titles of the videos that are available on the homepage, so make sure you go check that out. You also get access to my private Discord where we do occasional VOD reviews, and you can interact with other players that are on the same journey as you. So if you want to get the rank you deserve, check out the Ticket to Diamond Blueprint in the description below. The price will be increasing when the 2.0 version drops, so now is the cheapest listing price it will ever be at, so make sure to check it out, link below. Okay, starting off the top 5, we have Hecarim. Hecarim has been so strong for the last 2 years and is really good at getting an early lead with his great gank potential. Once he gets one item, he can absolutely carry a team fight, which can lead to early towers and dragons, and it really puts his team in a good spot to win. He has great carry potential, but is a little harder to pilot with his E and ultimate, but other than that, he is a great champion, and I highly recommend using him for some free low. I'm going to give him a 7 for his carry score and an 8 for how easy he is to play, which gives him a composite score of 15. Just missing the top 3, we have Nautilus. I wanted to make sure that we had a good support champion on this list because they are underappreciated but have a huge impact on the game. ADC players know how valuable a good support is. Nautilus is a unique champion because you could fumble on every single combo that you attempt and still get off a normal amount of crowd control to help your team. Like really, he only has one skill shot and everything else is so simple to use. And he's been S tier ever since he was introduced as a support option. If you are a support player or you're looking at switching roles, I highly recommend picking up Nautilus and learning how to play support. He is one of the best champions to carry within League of Legends. We'll give him a carry score of 6, mainly because he just sets up plays for his team, but his easy to play score is a 9, which gives him a total score of 15. All right, now to the top 3 best champions at carrying while remaining easy to play, and we have an ADC, Ashe. Ashe is crazy good. She has some crazy crowd control as an ADC. She can set up picks across the map with her ultimate. She has a short cooldown, AoE slow on her W, and early in the game, Ashe's long auto attack range allows her to farm safely and also get some poke off. That poke is added when you look at her W and see how easy it is to shove the lane to get control. Ashe's only real weakness is her lack of mobility. She doesn't have any sort of dash, but that's all made up for by her amazing amount of utility. Oh, did I mention that she has a vision bird that she can shoot out to find the enemy jungler whenever she wants? Yes, and that can help her team figure out how aggressive or safe to play depending on where the jungler is at. This is one of those intangible qualities that doesn't necessarily 1v5 a game, but it does make it easier for her team to figure out what the best plays are to make. And Ashe can totally 1v5 with her CC and damage. Her Q absolutely shreds if you have any sort of peel, and if you have a lead, you can totally carry a team fight. She's not mechanically demanding, but you can still have a huge impact if you learn how to space and kite well. I highly recommend Ashe and Jhin as the 2 best ADCs for carrying if you need an easy champion to play. I'm going to give Ashe an 8 for her ability to carry because of her CC and damage, and also an 8 for how easy she is to play. We'll give her an overall score of 16. Our runner-up for the top spot is Ahri. The mid lane is such a good role to play if you want to have direct impact on the game because you are in the middle of the action. Unfortunately, most of the complex champions in this game are mid laners, and it's probably the most demanding role there is, except maybe ADC. However, Ahri is a great champion because she does a ton of damage while having very forgiving mobility. Her ultimate is great for an all-in, to escape a gank, or to dash in and out of team fights to have the highest impact possible. She's also a ranged champion with great wave clear, which is very important in the mid lane. Wave control is a must-have in the current meta, so having the ability to clear the wave quickly is very important. The most difficult part about playing Ahri has to be hitting her charm. You can generally make your opponent psych themselves out because they know it's coming, so they're trying to dodge it. You can also save it and try to chain it with other hard CC abilities on your team. Overall, because of her high damage, I'm going to give Ahri a 9 for her carry ability. Her high damage and snowball potential is crazy, and I'll also give her an 8 with how easy she is to play. Her charm can be difficult, which knocks a couple of points off, but overall, we'll give her a score of 17. All right, coming in at number 1, we have the most broken champion in the game. Changed my mind, it's Kayn. Kayn is 2 champions in 1. You can build him as an assassin, where he can legitimately one-shot the opposing squishy champions, or you can build him as a bruiser, which which I would generally recommend doing. His bruiser form heals so much and it does so much damage to other bruisers and tanks. Overall, you have to kind of gauge what situation you're in, but if you've ever played Kayn, you'll know what to look for. You also have great mobility with your Q and E, and your R just takes you out of the game while also healing you and doing more damage. Overall, Kayn's kit is just crazy, and if you want an easy, hard carry champion to play, this has to be my #1 recommendation. I give him a 10 for his carry score and a 9 for how easy he is to play. If his W was any easier to hit, then I'd give him an overall score of 20, and he'd be the perfect, simple, hard carry champion in this game. All right, that's all for my top 10. If you would add anyone to this list or swap any of the champions around, then let me know in the comment sections below. Also, if you want to get better at League of Legends and surround yourself with like-minded climbers, then make sure you check out the Ticket to Diamond blueprint in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.